Hey there, folks. In today's training, I'm just going to talk about ways you can market and brand your business in a down economy. So let's go ahead and get into the presentation. And because I'm doing this live, I am not going to be able to see your questions until after I'm done with it. We'll do a Q&A, and then I'll go ahead and answer any questions that you have. But until then, I'm not going to be able to see what you're saying. So let's bring this on really quickly. And let's get started. Okay, so again, we're going to be talking about marketing your brand and business during a down economy. So in today's agenda, we're going to go over why it's important to prepare, the importance of digital marketing and software during this time, increase in altering your revenue sources, summary and action items, and Q&A. So for those of you who have not met me before, my name is Cinnamon. I'm from Washington, D.C. I moved to Lisbon, Portugal, close to 2 years now in June, and I'm a digital marketer and business consultant. So why is it important to prepare? So as it relates to the economy, it's not a matter of when the economy is going to go down, or if rather, it's just when, so we don't have a crystal ball. We can't determine when things are going to get crazy, but they will. And I know when I lost everything in 2008, 2009, and I had to start all over again, I was searching for information to kind of figure out what I should do and how I should have prepared. And the things I'm going to share with you are things that I wish I would have known then. But hindsight is 2020. So the economy is going to crash. And this is not to depress you guys. This is so that you can be defensive and make sure that you make the necessary changes in your business and your brand and things of that nature, so that you can go into this kind of proactively and learn what you have to do so that you can try to survive this the best way possible. So this particular training is all about planting seeds. And as if you've heard me speak before, planting seeds, you do not get the harvest immediately. So if you are looking for something immediate, that is not what this is. I want you to plant the seeds so that you'll be able to maintain. And in the event that things get so hard for your business, you'll still have the systems in place so that when things start to go back to normal or start to elevate again, which they will, this is just how the economy works. You will already have your systems in place to be able to benefit relatively quickly for when things turn around. So we're going to talk about your customers' discretionary income may change. So for those of you who are in an industry that it does well if most people have money in their pocket. So let's take interior design, for example. That's usually people have discretionary income, and so they may hire an interior decorator to come and decorate their home. So if the economy changes, you want to think about ways where you can still provide the same service, but you can provide it to more people globally and maybe at a lesser rate. It just depends. So there's a lot of ways that you can do interior design or any business online rather than being stuck, being able to provide a service to people who live in your city or town. So interior design are one of those types of professions that typically you work with people who live in your city. You're not traveling all across the world to do interior design. And there's other businesses like that. So we're going to talk about how you can consider doing those things digitally so that you can still keep income coming in during these times. So the needs in the industry may change. Okay, so we're in the middle of a pandemic, guys, and even looking at restaurants in many countries and many states, restaurants are closed. But those restaurants that have been able to provide delivery or takeout have been able to kind of parlay their inside experience with a good take-home experience, and are still able to survive a little bit, but just kind of consider those industries in which you may have to change a little bit. Now, it's easier to be creative and think about what changes you need to make in your business when you are not operating out of desperation. So if you have a business and you're the business owner, and let's say you're a solo entrepreneur, or you are responsible for having the business that is feeding other people's household, if you are operating out of desperation, you are not going to be able to think. So take it from me. Like I said, the recession of 2008, 2009, listen, and because you're so personally involved and you're working in your business, it's really hard for you to take yourself out and work on your business. Okay, so what do you need to know? The importance of digital marketing. Now, you can use various forms of digital marketing now to save you money and get you customers in the future and ongoing. So one of the things, digital marketing is more than just, although most people think this is all digital marketing is, that you just chase keywords and you just post some things on social media. And just because you posted some things in social media, that means customers are supposed to come out of nowhere and want to work with you. It does not work that way. Now, if you employ digital marketing correctly, you get to obtain clear analytics that give you the insight of your personal customers. So for example, if you have a video on your website, those of you who have either worked with me or have heard me talk before, I love video because video does one thing that a picture or an article cannot. Well, an article can do this. So if you have a video, you can determine someone's interest based on how much of the video they watched. And you can remarket to those individuals if they watch 60 to 100% of the video. And with a picture, you can't really test engagement like that. So if think of in your business, you knew the customers who were really interested and you just needed to give them a little slight tug, little slight push so that they could work with you. But you get those type of analytics when you incorporate that using digital marketing. Also, creating automated systems are one of the things that you should really look to incorporate in your business, whether you're a personal brand or whether you are just a larger business. When you automate these processes, you remove the person and you also remove the ability to create error. If you automate your sales process, you can have that going on in the background where you're dealing with different things. So for example, if in fact you're an accountant or you do consulting, your sales process is going to be automated. So you continue to have a funnel of people coming in versus, which most freelancers can attest to this, you try to market, then you spend time trying to deal with the customers and you finish all the projects with the customers and you didn't have time to market. So now you're done with your customers and now you go to this feast and famine stage back and forth because you didn't set up an automated sales process that didn't require necessarily manpower, but it does require, it does require software. So automated systems, everybody needs to do that right now. Now, feeding the algorithm. Let's talk about this for a minute. When you are doing anything online, there are a series of codes and cookies and things that are basically tracking you online. And not to freak you out, I want you to understand how you can use this as a small business. So many large businesses are using this. You can talk about that you want chocolate with your friend, and next thing you know, all you'll get is ads about chocolate on your phone, on your social feeds, everything. That is a form of digital marketing. And so when you think about it, how you'll do it as a business owner, particularly if you don't have an ad budget, you need to feed the algorithm. And what the algorithm wants, when you look at your Googles, your Facebook, your YouTubes, your Instagram, all these social channels, they want a good user experience. So that means that the user is able to get what they want very quickly because they want them to stay on the platform. And if they stay on the platform, they can meet their ultimate goal, which is what? Selling ads. That's pretty much the goal of most online platforms, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, they want to sell ads. Now, if you happen to have content that you created for your business or as an individual, and a lot of people engage with it, you are feeding the algorithm. And what that does, it helps your content stand out above the millions that are existing. And all of this is done with computers, guys. So when you give a good user experience and you give engagement, and then that third one is the most important thing. You have to have consistency, because I want you to think about how many millions of people across the world are trying to get people to buy their service, their product, and know about them. The difference between those that make it and those that don't is consistency. So the algorithms are programmed in such a way that initially nobody's paying attention to you. But once they start to see that there's a level and there's a consistent level and that they know that they could probably count on you in order to provide more information so they can sell ads, then they will put you in front of a lot of people. And that's the point you want to get to. But again, we are talking about planting seeds. This does not happen over time, but it is critical that if we're going to go through this economic downturn, that you start to think about these things so that you can start implementing them during this time that there are lockdowns and you might have more time on your hands than usual. You can start creating these things so that you'll be okay, or you can try to maintain as much as you possibly can when it gets much more hectic in the economy. So again, we talked about automating your sales process. Don't talk about my slides, guys. This is just something I use so that, I get distracted and we're doing this live. So I needed to have something to be able to communicate. Let me check in on the live feed to make sure we are good there. Hey there, Yolanda. Hey there, Nomadic Jamaican. How are you? All right, let's get back to what I'm talking about. All right. So your website. Your website is going to be the thing that you own. I need you all to stop depending on online rented space. Right now, what I'm on right now is YouTube. YouTube is online rented space. If YouTube decides to change their rules or that they want to change the reach or they want to start charging people, I would have to deal with that because that is the platform I'm on. And as things start to change in this economy, what you'll start to see is a lot of online platforms will start to change as well. So let's take Facebook and Instagram, for example. Maybe not everyone knows, Instagram is owned by Facebook. So initially, Facebook was the first place where businesses could kind of market themselves, and they would do Facebook business pages. And so what Facebook does, because again, their motivation is what? To sell ads. So when it gets to the point where the money gets tight and they're a publicly traded company and they have to please their shareholders, they want to bring in more money. And so what that requires them to do is start charging businesses that if they want to reach their audience, now they have to pay for it. So you'll notice some algorithm changes that's even happened in Instagram, that maybe you have a large audience and you're not able to reach that audience as easily as you were before, because ultimately they want you to create a personal ad. And if you're on Instagram, you're probably seeing a lot of personal ads of people's random Instagram pages that they put all these ads out here because they've lost their reach and they're trying to advertise. But that's not really the way to do it in these platforms. I am telling you this because I want you to be prepared that if you are solely using these platforms to market your business, you need to bring them back to something you own so that you can continue to create the relationship, particularly when the market is going to go that way. Okay, so let's look over here at your website. With a website, you can reap the financial benefits of advertising. So again, guys, I'm telling you, these social platforms, including YouTube, you've probably seen ads in this very video. They get to get paid off of advertising. If you send people to your website and it usually takes about 15,000 views per month in order to get an advertising company interested in advertising on your website. But when you get to that level, you are able to charge for ads. So in regards to we talking about this additional revenue stream, if you are an accountant and you have various people, 15,000 people coming to your website every month, you can sell ad space. So not only are you making money on providing the service of being an accountant, you're able to provide a revenue stream of advertising. So many of you who've heard me speak before know I'm all about like multiple sources for your business, because some of them dry up. Okay, some of them aren't always producing. And then when they're some more producing more than others, you still have a way to kind of navigate. But if you look at business as this one source type of thing, you're going to struggle. Take it from someone who had done that and had, learned from that experience. Okay, increase your sales or your product or your service. So obviously, if you're bringing people back to your website and you have your product and service on your website, you can increase your sales. Some of the issues is that you all want to keep people on the platform you don't own, and it doesn't necessarily create the best user experience to buy your products and service. It creates the best user experience to keep people on the platform because that's what they want people to do. So you have to bring people over to your side. So you get to create a relationship with your customers so that you don't become dependent on online platforms or online advertising. If you have a situation where you're just on a social media platform, you're just on an online platform, but you're never bringing them back to your website, you can't keep the relationship, because this is how digital marketing works. When anyone goes to someone's website, they are cookie. All those privacies and disclaimers that you have to check before you go to somebody's website is basically saying that. So if you cookie them because they come to your website, that means you can continue to have a relationship with them as they go throughout their online day, as they go to Amazon, as they go, to Walmart or Target or all these different places. You get to pop back up into their online life. The reason why that's important is because if someone has never heard about you, you're not going to sell to them the first time you meet them, okay? They may need 6, 7, 12 times to see your brand. And if you don't bring them to your website, it's going to be really hard to get them to cookie them so they can continue to see you, okay? What else? These are just tips. Okay. Expectation agreement. Okay. Consider distribution channels. Okay. Yes. Let's talk about that. Distribution channels. So, and I am dating myself, but before, when music was not as digital as it is now, when someone came out with a new album or a new record, I feel so old saying record. When somebody came out with some new music, they wanted to put their most important, their most fire songs, they put those to radio stations. And they put them on as many radio stations as they could possibly do. Why? Because they wanted to encourage people to go buy their album and then want to see them in concert. So when we think about your social media channels, I want you to think about them as distribution. The sole purpose is to bring them back to something you own. It is not to continue to keep them lingering out there on these radio stations or these various distribution channels. The goal is to bring them back to something you own, because that way you can nurture the relationship. And as the economy changes, you want these various online environments to be more of a secondary relationship. You want their primary relationship to come to you and be with you in something that you own. So I hope that's making sense. And guys, if you're in here live, I can't see any questions because I'm looking at the presentation, but be sure to type your questions in and I'll do a Q&A and I'll stay around as long as you need me. Okay, so you're going to examine your current intake or customer onboarding process and see what you can automate or use software to scale or add efficiency. So before you look at all these slides, these are not here for you. They're here so I can remember, because I'm always forgetting what I'm going to say. So the thing that you have to remember is, in a down economy, a couple of things can happen. You may not be able to afford the staff that you had. Or you may be a solo entrepreneur and you want to scale, but you're not sure how to scale by doing the business that you have created, in addition to trying to market and get more customers. So this is why software is super, super, super important. Software can automate this whole process so that you can continue to focus on your business. Now, granted, it is time consuming to program everything to make sure it does what you need it to do, but it's worth its weight in gold. So let's talk about this really quickly. So a potential customer sees your content or sees your ad on a distribution channel. So for example, you are currently looking at a training on YouTube, a distribution channel, and I am providing you information. Now, some, not all, may think, dang, I really, not in like at this moment, because I can't work with anybody, but they may think, oh, I want to work with her or him or this person. Okay. And so from that, what they'll end up doing, this is what hot leads end up doing, finding you or finding your website or finding your content so they can get more. Okay. So they usually go to your website. Now, this is the customer onboarding process. Now, your website applies a code in the back end that incorporates your brand so they can continue to see you over the life of their online shopping experience. And this is called remarketing. Okay. If you don't know what remarketing is, Google it. We're not about to talk about that in this particular training, but I want you to know that in online digital space, if you tell the online gods that you already have a relationship with this person, it's substantially cheaper to continue to communicate with them throughout their online journey. Okay. So when I say expensive, like it's pennies on the dollar versus you may having to pay $30 per lead. Now, if that lead brings in $150 for you, then wouldn't it make sense to go ahead and pay in ads $30 per lead if that lead brings in 150, or $150 per lead when that lead brings in 3,000? So those type of things are done by remarketing. Again, if I'm talking too fast, because this is my industry, guys, so I notice like the back of my hand. So if it gets foggy somewhere, just put questions so that I know where you get lost. But this is what remarketing does. And you can't remarket to people if you don't establish codes and various things to show the internet that you have a relationship with them. Okay, so if the potential customer interacts with your website, and we're over here on the site, and settling, first of all, if I have any typos on this, don't come for me. Just know I threw these together and so that I can tell you what I need to say. Okay, so if your potential customer interacts with your website by setting an appointment or interacting with your content, you can create an automated nurture sequence. So again, let's say you had to let your assistant go, and your assistant was the one who scheduled your appointments. You can use software to schedule your appointments. And what that does, that gets their email address. And so before they even meet with you, you can have automated email sequence that continues to get them ready for that meeting. Let them know that they're appreciated. This is what they can expect from the meeting. This is how you will follow up. And these are the next steps. You can do automated systems with this. If they go to your website and they set an appointment, that whole process is automated. So when they actually speak to you, you have created an experience that is unlike most. Okay. So I want you to think about how you can incorporate this into your current business, or if you're thinking about starting a business, how you can use these various forms of software to do this. And we'll talk about what softwares I use toward the end. If I forget, remind me. All right. If you have digital products you can purchase without the need of staff. So some of you are not making additional revenue in your business because you are focusing solely on the business that you're providing. My folks in the service industry, you all are famous for this. Your service can be turned into a product. Okay. So I want you to consider that. So we'll do the Q&A. Someone will tell me what service they're in, and we'll talk about products live. But just understand, let's say you're an attorney and you focus on incorporation for small businesses. You can create, we have another slide on that. You can create various digital products that even if they don't decide to work with you individually, they can purchase your other digital products so that you can continue to make income from that. Because in this economy, and even when things get great, you want to have various options for people to work with you if they can't work with you directly. And that's done in digital goods. And the great thing about digital goods is the margin is wonderful. You create it once, and then you can sell it as many times as you want. And then you created another income source without needing more staff. You can automate this. So if you are in a particular industry, I want you to think about what are the most frequently asked questions in your industry, or what are the frustrations of your industry? And then what you can do is you create content that addresses those issues and solves the problem. So what that ends up doing, it makes you look like an expert. Well, you are an expert, not make you look like you're an expert in that field. I would hope. Don't go doing this in industries you don't know nothing about. But this makes you look like the expert. And because you know what you're talking about, you allow people to see that, and then they want to work for you. Because what? We're planting seeds. Okay. So this is increasing and or alternating your revenue source. So before, for my accountants, for my doctors, I talked to someone yesterday, she was an RN. Think about this product. You have to think about who you're solving the problem for. In a downturning economy, people pay money to solve their problems. They may not spend as much money on entertainment, but problems are always going to occur in regards to anything, regardless of the industry. So start to brainstorm, how can I solve people problems? What are the issues in my industry? And then just start to demonstrate how you can do that. So you can do a video course. You can do a membership, like a Netflix model type of course in which people pay you monthly so that you can solve their problem in a group setting. You can do email courses. You can do live training like I'm doing today. You can do how-to guides, books, online, in-person summits. You can do group consulting, referral commission. Let me talk to you about the referral commission. So basically what that is, it's basically affiliate marketing, but I hate using that word because the internet has made it some creepy place to be. So basically what it is, whatever your industry is, you probably have software, you have hardware, you have a variety of things you do to do your job. And most companies will give you a commission if you bring people to that business. So if there's something that you use that you like in a particular industry and you have your reasons as to why you like it, you can actually reach out to the company. Most likely they already have an affiliate program anyway, but make that an additional revenue stream in your business. So in my business, I use about, maybe 8 forms of software in order to run my business. And I'm obsessed with all of them. And if I had to refer them, I would, because I use them, but I also get a commission for referring them. So you've heard of it. It's affiliate marketing. I just hate using that word because people are weird. And then of course, advertising. The more people you bring to your website, the more you can work, you can negotiate a contract for people to advertise on your website. Once you build the audience, you can sell whatever you want to sell, as long as you keep your integrity with your audience, because basically they're saying, when I come here, she or he has already vetted this company and I can feel comfortable. And that is the importance of you creating the audience. So hold on, let me come in here, making sure everybody's good in the back end. Let's talk. All right. Okay, I see we have some questions. Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate you. All right. Okay, if we have any questions, just go ahead and put them in the comment. I think I have like 2 more slides or 1 more slide, and then we can go live to the comments. So let me go back. Okay, so your action items, if you are starting a business or you are starting a brand or you already developed a brand, is you need to determine with your audience. And it is not specific enough to say my audience is all businesses. No, all businesses are going to have different issues. If you are a restaurant, your issues are going to be substantially different than somebody who has an accounting firm. If you are a veterinarian, your issues are going to be different than someone who owns a restaurant. So you can't be so general that you say your audience is everybody. Stop doing that, particularly in this economy. Because if you think about it, people pay to have their problems solved. You can't solve everybody's problems. You can't even demonstrate that you solve everybody's problems. So if you niche down, this will help you in being search engine optimized, because if a restaurant owner has that issue, that's what they're searching for. And if you over here trying to act like you know how to help the restaurant owner and the veterinarian, they're never going to find you. But if you focus your content based on Google being able to understand what your website, what your YouTube channel, what your blog, what all that is about, then they can start directing people there. Because some of the mistakes that you are making is that you have made it really difficult for Google to understand what the hell you do, because you're random. The certain keywords that they're looking for when the spiders are crawling your content, it's hard for them to determine what you do. So that is why it's hard for you to get more customers. So again, when I say determine your audience, I really need you to determine your audience, and you need to be as specific as you possibly can. Okay, so after you do that, you're going to learn the problems of the audience. Most likely, if you're in business, you already know what their problems are. So you have to then solve the problem or find someone who can solve the problem for the audience. So for example, what I need you all to remember is that the channel that you're watching grow, you're watching it grow in real time. I've done what I'm doing for me now for businesses for decades. I only just started doing it for me like in the past year. So for me, you can see even with the Driven Spice channel that I will find an issue, and if I can't solve it, I'll find other people who can, and then that is a revenue opportunity. I want you to brainstorm, get your pen and paper, when you just wake up or you're about to go to sleep, and start to think about how you can do that based on your particular industry. You don't always have to be the person to solve the problem. You may just know the person who solves the problem, and bring these two opportunities together, and you can create a revenue stream for both parties. Okay. 4, provide that what? See, these my slides looking janky. Provide that you or the person knows how to solve the problem. Prove. Sorry, prove. I said provide. That's not what I said. And I was worried about my slides being janky because they are, but also I can't read. So prove that you are the person that you know, so it solves the problem. And you can do this in a variety of ways. You can do a workshop like we're doing right now. If I wanted to present to someone to show that this person is going to, let's say, teach a class or whatever, I could have this person. And you all have seen me, for those of you who know about Driven Spice, you've seen me do this. You've seen me bring people on, and then later a product is created based on what is needed. I need you to look and see how you can do this for your business. You want to solve problems because problems continue to get solved in a down economy. Okay. Now, after you figure out a way to solve the problem, you're just going to market the proof that you can solve the problem. It doesn't get any more serious than that. You just show that you can solve the problem in a way that helps people get results. That's it. We've had our Q&A. All right, let's chat. Okay, what we got here? If anyone has any questions, go ahead. And Ward 8. Wow. Sorry, only DC will understand what that means. Hi, Yolanda. Thanks for coming through. Hola, Jenny. Okay, I have my paid website now. And I'm trying to understand digital marketing. Okay, let me know what your specific questions are, Nomadic Jamaican, and I can help you out with that. I'm going to stay on. How long have we been on here? For like 30 minutes. That's cool. Okay, so I'll stay on for a little bit, and then until we have questions coming in. Yes, getting the offer to pay to teach my audience. I don't think I understand that question. Okay. Greetings from Ward 8. What is going on, Khalib? I did a study abroad in Brazil. Let's look at this. Okay. The study abroad a few years ago. I have had the expat bug ever since. Your channel has been. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And shout out to Ward 8 in DC. I love it. When I was a kid, I still bought. When I was. No, I know. I think my first album I bought, Jen, was like, I think it was Orange Juice Jones. And he had that song, I Saw You and Him Walking in the Rain. That's not the name of the song, but that's what the break was. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay, so y'all don't have any questions? Because I'm going to get out of here if y'all don't have any questions. Can you provide a reliable website host company? Barbara. I'm going to be honest. I have been having a really difficult time with web host companies lately. I'm actually so irritated with mine that when I get the time, I am going to take all my websites off of that hosting company and find somewhere else. So Erika, many of you have met Erika. She enjoys GoDaddy. Now, the reason I don't like GoDaddy, I never use them for hosting, but the reason I don't particularly care for GoDaddy at this moment is because they attempt to sell you so much, and you just want to do one thing and they just want to sell you 900 things. And if you are not savvy, you may end up purchasing a whole bunch of things that you don't need. So I don't like sending people to GoDaddy just because of that stressor. But she likes it, so I'm assuming that it's reputable and they don't have any issues. She is able to speak to a customer service representative, which with my hosting company, that has been a challenge lately because I think they got bought and sold and then they start outsourcing the other whatever. But do I have a recommendation? I don't yet, but give me a minute and I will research it because I have to research it to get all my stuff off of that hosting company. So far, Erika, who does web development, you all met her. She likes GoDaddy. If you're going to use GoDaddy, just really take your time during the checkout process and understand you don't have to buy everything that they're trying to sell you. Just know what you want, and then you can be a little bit more educated in your decision. Okay. What we got here? Sorry, guys. This thing works a little weird. Okay, excellent advice. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Can you provide a okay? All right, Ward 4. What? Uptown? Hey, that's my hometown. I'm feeling like so much home love and I miss it a little bit. I don't all the way miss America, but I miss shout out to Ward 4 DC. Yes. Oh, that just got me excited. Sorry. Okay. I'm about to go real hood. Let me get my life together. Okay. One more question. MailChimp funnels. Okay. So that's a really good question, Barbara. I'm gonna be honest with you. The company that I use, I haven't. Okay, MailChimp has evolved since I used it like a decade ago, so I'm not fully educated and as to what it offers currently. Um, ClickFunnels has the issues that I've experienced with customer service, so I'm not necessarily a fan. In regards to creating everything, I use ActiveCampaign, and I'm a huge fan. I'm also an affiliate of them. I didn't include any links here, but if you want to really systematize your business and make things automated, ActiveCampaign got the best software out there. Sadly, not sadly, but it is what it is. And just go check them out. If I need to do a training on them, I will. Just let me know. Okay, now you got me singing that stupid song. That is so funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Ward 7, shut up. Moving to Lisbon late spring. That's what's up. Let me find out all of DC going to be in. Okay, from the US television. Okay, so let's see. I'm new to Portugal. Oh, from the US. I love your channel. And thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Lauren. Welcome. Hope you're loving it. Okay, good day, lady. Just woke up. Yes, late on the Sunday. So I dropped some gems. If you are solo entrepreneur or a business owner, hopefully you'll find that helpful. So definitely check that out. ActiveCampaign. Yes, that is the name of it. That's the company that one of the companies I use. Like I said, I use probably about 8 softwares to pull my life together. And ActiveCampaign is one of them. So I definitely recommend them. If you guys need me to do training on that, I will do a training. All right, I will. Are you using a different system? Okay, let's talk. Also, Driven Spice, if you're using 8 different systems, can you? Absolutely. Yes. I didn't even talk about Zapier because I didn't want people to be like, what is she talking about? I absolutely use Zapier in some of them. I don't use all of them to connect because some of the softwares will already be interconnected with other ones. So you don't necessarily have to use Zapier. So it just depends. But I definitely use Zapier for the software that doesn't have a native webhook that would allow me to connect. If that just made you say, what the hell? Don't even worry. We'll discuss that at another time. Okay. Yes, would love to know more about ActiveCampaign. All right, I guess I'll pull that together. Okay, so let's see. I am a musician moving overseas. How would I monetize that? I got late into the live stream. Okay, so if you want to monetize off of your music, it's important to do a couple things. One, you need a website. Okay. The second thing is you need a process to accept payment. So if someone wants to support you and purchase your album digitally or whatever, you have an easy process to do that. So remember when I talked about, or maybe you didn't because you came in late, distribution channels. You can use social media as your distribution channels, but you're going to bring them back to your website. So for example, you can demonstrate your music on the various social media channels and say if they want to purchase your album or if they want to support you, come back to your website. There is a company that I actually really like. I haven't used in a minute. It's called eJunkie. If I type in the comments, just Google that, eJunkie. I've never written a comment, so I hope that shows up. They have the ability, if you're selling ebooks or anything digital, they will stamp it for that consumer if you're worried about people like, at least they did back in the day. I haven't used them in a while. But you can have people support your music. And so basically they come to your website, you embed the eJunkie or any online platform that allows you to sell your content to them. And then they can just go about their business, purchase your album while you're doing something else. So that's how you'll monetize it. You want to advertise on your social media, your distribution channels. but you want to bring them back to something that you own, which is your website. And then you have them close the deal then. Now, here's the important thing. In this down economy, it's a lot easier to market to people who have already spent money with you than to market to people who are a brand new audience. It is one, if they like working with you, they're not going to have a problem spending money with you again. Two, if you let the internet know that you all have a relationship, it's substantially cheaper to reach out to them again. So that is why you need to embed certain things in the back end of your website so that you can alert all the online platforms that you know this person. Because if that same person is now on Facebook and you have a Facebook ad, instead of it costing maybe, I don't know, I'm pulling this out of the sky, y'all. I'm pulling this out of the sky because it would require so much other information. But let's say it costs you $30 per lead. If you already have a relationship with that person, it may cost you $2 a lead. It's a big difference, right? So if you have a product and you're selling it and you bring that person back to your website and it costs you $2, but you sold it for 24 to 34 or whatever you sold it for, that is how you continue to create a revenue stream while you're still in your regular business. I hope that's making sense. I hope I answered your question. It was helpful in some way. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. And I loaded a food video yesterday. Go ahead, boo. I'm so proud of you. I love it. I see how much this active campaign costs. It really depends. I think it depends on which program you choose and how many customers, how many contacts you have. If you don't have a lot of contacts, I think you can get something like $25 a month or less. But go to their website and check it out. I'm going to have to watch again. I had to take a call. No worries, Jen. Come on through later. Okay. All right. Let me see if I get your question. eJunkie, can you link your website? Can I link? So, okay, let me start with this question. Can you link my website? So here's my thing. I can't accept anything. Like I can't accept clients or anything. So, and fun fact, Driven Spice was a brand I didn't plan on blowing up the way that it did. So a lot of stuff I haven't created. Give me a minute, but it depends on what you want to do with my website because I can't take any more clients. But if you need help when I go live, I'll be happy to answer any questions when I'm live because I set that time up. So if you have any questions specifically on your business, when I go live, I'm always ready for that. So just let me know, Lauren. I hope that's helpful. And you can also reach out to me on Instagram. Yes, eJunkie. Okay, the musician can teach online. You can absolutely teach online. Good idea, Jen. So you can monetize this in a variety of different ways. You can teach online. You can sell your product online. You know, you have a bunch of different options. So let's go back to Barbara. Do you need to be careful promoting your website while you're presenting on YouTube? No. Use it. Just put your link in the description box. I didn't do that because I don't want to send nobody to my website. So no, you're fine, hon. YouTube is fine with that. YouTube, you guys know I'm biased to YouTube. I really like YouTube. But the main reason why I like YouTube, guys, when what you have to understand is that Instagram, your Facebooks, and all of your what is that thing that kids are using? TikTok. Those are intranets. Okay. And for my government people, you absolutely know what that means. That means you have to log into the system in order to see the content. Whereas YouTube is owned by Google. It is an internet situation. You don't have to log in to get the content. Now they want you to, so they can get some demographic information from you. But if you don't, you will still get the information. Okay. So the good thing about that is it's search specific. So if you have content, this is why I told you earlier to create content that solves the problem of your particular industry. Because when people in your industry are searching for answers, is that on my screen? Oh, it is on my screen. When people in your industry are searching for answers, it'll come up with your content. And the video space is a lot less, believe it or not, is a lot less competitive than the blog, internet, online space with people's websites, believe it or not. Okay, so no, you don't have to be careful, honey. Just promote your website on YouTube. They'll send them there, no problems. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. I didn't know about blockchain for selling music. Okay, good. I love you. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Okay, guys, I think that is it. We've been on here for 45 minutes and y'all haven't asked me any questions. I know y'all coming in the comments later, but I hope this was helpful. I hope My goal was to get you to think about some ways to create some additional revenue streams for your business that are outside of the business that you offer. So again, if you're an accountant, if you're an attorney, just Google how many accountants and attorneys are on YouTube, and they are making money off of the YouTube AdSense. They're bringing more people to their business. They are creating online courses. They're creating a variety of different revenue streams for their business. And as this economy changes, you want to be able to do that for your business as well. Gone are the days where you are just focusing on the one business that you know how. So even if you're a doctor, you can go work at the hospital, but you can also create a YouTube channel. There is people on YouTube doing it. You can create a website. You can create all these different digital platforms that have a higher margin, and you can provide. Gosh, I look sleepy. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Sunday, guys. Okay, got ideas bouncing all over my head. I'm even thinking about teaching. Okay, I love it, love it. So I don't want to talk badly about a bunch of brands, but Udemy is a place where you can do online teaching, but it's relatively low cost. And they can put your class on sale. And what I would suggest you do is teach on your website, but use various distribution channels, social media, writing articles, that type content marketing to get people to come to your website and take the course. Now, Udemy does have a large distribution of people that they know, but they also can cut your course pennies on the dollar, and then you just are stuck with that. So if you know your content is fire and it needs to bring this certain amount of money because you put your blood, sweat, and tears into it, then you need to have control over that. And so if you go to other platforms that they own the content, like I said earlier, they can determine what they do with the content. And so not to crap on Udemy, I just, want people to know that. But I'm glad you're thinking in the the wheels are turning of other ways that you can make money. I love it. Okay. All right. I'll be watching the replay. Love it. Love it. Okay. I notice a lot of doctors on YouTube, and you're right. There's a ton of doctors on YouTube, and some of them will tell you they are making more money online that they are in their practice. So yeah. Okay, good. Love it. Love it. I say build your brand using. Yes. Yes. So you can build your brand on online platforms. I'm biased. I like YouTube. And yeah, drive people to your website from YouTube. That's what I want you to think. I'll rethink this. I love it. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If I have the time, I will definitely try to answer them. What did you? What is this? Okay. Hello, my mother. My mother watches your channel. That made me feel old. Is that what you meant to do to me? Asking questions. One of your live streams. Do you keep a PO box in the U.S. even though you're a Portuguese resident? I'm still a U.S. citizen. I'm a Portuguese resident, but I'm still a U.S. citizen. So I do have an address in the U.S. because I still do. I still pay taxes in the U.S. Because majority of my money comes from the U.S. So I don't use a P.O. box, but I do have an address in the U.S. I use. So I hope that helps. He said he's sorry, made me feel old. It's all good. Don't trip. I appreciate you all. Again, I hope this was helpful. If it was helpful, let me know in the comments and forward this to someone who you think can help. Because again, when I told you that recession took me out, I hope that I did it justice to get business owners and individual brands thinking of what they need to do to continue to make money outside of the one service that they offer, to create multiple sources of revenue from various parts of their business. I hope I did that, guys. Okay. All right. I'm out. I appreciate